Hey, how's it going? My name is Daniel Mulligan, Mulligan Fit, and I'm so excited. Went too long ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was a senior in high school. Senior in high school, senior year, I step on the weight scale for my doctor. I'm 120 pounds, at 6 foot tall, a BMI 14. I'm still 6 foot tall, but that wasn't something, of course, I'd be proud of. I'm sure y'all can understand that. But on top of that, I also, by sophomore year of high school, kind of began a bit of a medical journey that took some interesting turns. By senior, I'd already had 2 near-death seizures, and I'd also suffered from an extreme drug overdose from my doctor that just paved the way for some further difficulties. But the main point is it didn't help and make it easier for me to put on muscle, because on top of it, I found out later I also had like polyneuropathy, Renaud's phenomenon, carpal tunnel, basically things you don't want for working out. As they put it, I basically was a 6-year-old man who's, 19. But anyways, but I had enough. I really did. I had enough of feeling unconfident. Just enough of being skinny. People take a look at me and you can just see it. They're just like, man, that kid's a beanpole. Skinny Danny or whatever works. But I took a mulligan on myself, even though doctors were saying you should not do that. That's really dangerous. You could get hurt. And for me, it's like I'm already hurt. I'm more painful on the inside. I gotta do something. So I went ahead and did it anyways. And boy, I struggled that first year and a half. I'm sure you've maybe even heard this before, people struggling first, and it's normal. It kind of happens. We start something new, and unfortunately there's a lot of information, and there's a lot of information when you're starting out. It's overwhelming. It really is, and I get that. You're just starting out, trust me, I get it. It's very overwhelming and intimidating. You got so much going on and new stuff, and what happened to me is after a year and a half, I would try one thing, wouldn't work, and I go to the next thing, then to the next thing, to the next thing, just like anyone else would do. And it got to the point where between that and my medical testing that's going on and all this stuff, I just got overwhelmed, and it just made it very difficult to keep going. And you don't want to get overwhelmed, right? You don't want it to get too overwhelmed, because for one, it kills the point. It's supposed to be enjoyable. I'm supposed to enjoy the progression and everything. So that made it very difficult. And what I ended up doing was I actually took a month off. I already was doing suspensions and stuff in there, and those were freshmen. This time I voluntarily took the month off because I just needed to regroup. And I came in with a fresh mindset, and I didn't really respect this new mindset until a couple months after, actually 3 months after I made my best gains ever, because I just kind of slowly creeped up, and I made 2 big gain movements. I went from all the way to 165, and then I had to undergo another suspension for medical, and then I dropped down to 160, and then went from 160 to 195 in 3 months. And I did it with all of this approach of a simplified mindset. And what that means is it got so complicated for me that even in sets and reps, it got so complicated, too many things going on in my head just to lift this rep. And not that form isn't important, it's that you're just starting out. You can't be overthinking everything, because you can't push yourself. If you're overthinking, then you get worried, maybe you're gonna get injured and all this stuff, then you're not gonna push yourself. You need to push yourself. And so what this is all about is simplifying it. And this is what I literally did. I went back to basics, and I'm like, okay, what's my goal? My goal is to build muscle, keep it lean. I'm not interested in being, 5-6%, but I also don't want to be like 15 to 20%, I like to 10 to 12, and then what does it take to build muscle? And this is it. And this is, if you're ever looking for the secret or the trick to building muscle, it all comes down to simplicity. And it comes down to two things: intensity and progression. So two sides to one coin. If your workouts are not intense, you are not giving your body a reason to adapt. But if you don't progress and make it consistently harder every time, you're not going to give your body continuous reasons for why it needs to adapt. And that's it. That's all it is. It's a challenge. You're challenging the muscle, which means it's intense. And this can be through a lot of ways. This can be through your weight, through heavy weight. This can be through short rest periods, rounds, different types of volumes, supersets, trisets, different types of pyramid structures. There's so many different ways to make it intense, and so many different ways to capitalize on that and really make that continuously difficult. And that's all it is. It's just those two things. And what I'm going to show is not only how to use that and put it in your routine, but also I'm going to pick exercises and have one coming very often. I'll be uploading very often, where I just take one exercise and I go over it in depth for you, go step by step through the exercise and the form. What I also show is how you can simplify your mindset in it to where it's easier for you to perform the rep with good solid form and where you feel it in the muscle. If you just think about feeling it and all this stuff, and then you're thinking of position and stuff, and not that bad technique is not what you want to do. You want right technique, but a lot of times you can get so focused in it that something else goes off and you're overthinking. Like for me, what happens, especially on back, I get so focused on trying to feel it in my arm position and my abs and all this stuff that at the end I'll feel like I've started to arch a bit just because I've overcomplicated it. And it's really, like doing back, it's just two key things which I'm showing in the videos, but that's what I'll show, is how to really simplify your mindset even in each rep to where you can perform it better and get your better results. Because if you clear that out, all those complications out, and you get on that simplicity, you can now use that energy you've been using to overwhelm, and you can use it for pushing yourself in the rep. Like that gentleman over there is doing, or he's pushing himself over there. That's what you gotta do. You have to push yourself, push those extra 2 reps. That's what makes it intense. So then the next time you can progress and you can do more and challenge it more. So, but if it gets too complicated, and you're facing this, I trust me, I get it. And that's what I'm going to show you. That's what this is all for. It's this approach of simplifying, not just the overall, but simplifying each exercise, each rep. I'll also do the same thing with nutrition, so you can simplify the nutrition and use a solid, smooth progression to where that doesn't overwhelm you as well. And how you can enjoy your nutrition as well, because again, this is not just like a 1 month deal. I know you want fast results, and we'll get those and help you with that, and you'll get them quick. But it's also, you gotta look at, it's also a lifestyle, so you gotta also find a thing that is enjoyable. So that's what this is all for. If there's any certain exercises you want me to focus my attention on, let me know. Any certain routines you have questions on you'd like me to know or maybe simplify for you, let me know that. Any nutrition, let me know too. This is all for you starting out, or you've started and you're starting to build muscle. This is my entire attention. I'm 100% dedicated to helping you with that. Actually, you know what? Since I'm a mulligan, I full out give you full permission and authority to go right now, today, and take a mulligan. In any aspect of your life, go take it, take a mulligan, and make it happen.